Hi everybody, I'm Susan Mulvihill. This is my second video of the 2025 gardening season. So what's the topic for today? Well, I'm always asked which varieties of vegetables and flowers we're going to grow. So this will be a rundown on that, and it should be fun. Some of them will be tried and true varieties that we're absolutely crazy about, so we'll be growing them again. Others will be brand new, and I'm very excited to try them and also to share them with you as well. Now, I always encourage folks to patronize their garden centers first. They need our business and our support, right? But sometimes there will be a brand new variety that they don't carry yet, and so then you need to look online and see what you can find. Keeping track of all of the seeds you want to start can be challenging. I've got two resources on my website that I wanted to show you real quickly before we get into all of the seeds so that you know that they're available to help you out. So here is my website, susansinthegarden.com. You'll notice there is a guides menu, and if you go way down until you see Susan's Garden 2025, this is my list of the crops and varieties we're going to grow in the vegetable garden. And then there's another section directly below it that is of the flowers we're going to grow. So these are all the things I'm going to be talking about in just a moment. One of the things I did for both of the lists is to list some seed sources, because sometimes it can be hard to find things, and I thought it would be helpful if you could see some different places that you can get the seeds. The second thing I wanted to show you is also under the guides menu. If you go down to where it says Seed Starting Scheduler, you'll notice at the bottom of the page there's 3 links. And what I wanted to share with you right now is version 3. You know, it's just a very simple little document that I made, and I print out 2 of them for myself. The first one I use for all of the seed starting information for vegetables. The other is for flowers. So what I would do in this column is write zucchini, cocozelle, so the crop name and the variety, or the flower name and the variety if you're just doing it for flowers. And then I have a column for when I really should plant them indoors as seeds, and a column for the transplanting date, sort of a target date of planting them out in the garden. Or it might be a crop that you don't start indoors, but you would plant directly in the garden. So let's say carrots, for example. So this is the date when different types of crops or flowers would go out into your garden. And then just some notes to yourself. Sometimes I might say, just start 6 tomato plants or something like that. But I hope you'll find this helpful. It is what really keeps me on track with my seed starting. Let's start with vegetables and a few herbs that we're going to grow this year. We have grown Esme arugula before. That is a wonderful salad green, so we're going to grow it again. And then we have 2 types of basil that we're growing, lettuce leaf and purple ruffles. And I'm sorry there isn't a photo on the purple ruffles packet, but I have to say we have grown lettuce leaf basil before. The leaves are huge and they are so aromatic. I absolutely love them, so yes, they're definitely going in the garden this year. What about pole and bush beans? Well, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm crazy about Vortex pole beans. They are so prolific, and they're also more heat tolerant, which works really well for our hot, dry climate here in Spokane, Washington. And then for bush beans, we're going to grow top crop, and we're growing them as a succession crop after a shorter season crop finishes up this summer. We're growing 2 varieties of beets this year. On the left is cylindra. Sometimes it's referred to as cylindrical. It's not the most flattering photo, but boy, do they produce a great big root. And then Golden Detroit is the other one. That is a fantastic beet. So very excited about growing that. For broccoli, Bell Star is a tried and true variety. This will be our third year of growing it. It produces massive heads and repeatedly throughout the season. So this is hands down my favorite variety of broccoli. I'm growing 3 varieties of carrots this year: Dulciva, Narvik, and Tendersweet. The new to me variety is Narvik. It sounded very promising, so I decided to give it a try this year. I've been growing celery for many, many years. The variety is Utah Improved, and it is a great way to always have celery on hand when you need it. I always grow Swiss chard every year because it's quite heat tolerant. It will grow all season long for you. And the variety I'm growing is Rainbow Blend. There are other companies that sell similar types of rainbow varieties of Swiss chard. When it comes to corn, we always grow the same variety, which is Sweetness Bicolor. It is so delicious. It matures fairly quickly, and it also makes a great succession crop in our garden. Well, I just realized I'm missing a packet of seeds. I'm sure I ordered them. I'm not sure where the packet ended up at. But for cucumbers, I'm growing 2 varieties, Mini Me and Lunchbox Hybrid. Both of them produce fairly small, smooth-skinned cucumbers, delicious for snacking, and not the type of cucumber you would use for pickling. We grew fava beans last year for the first time in a few years and had forgotten how much we enjoy using them in cooking. So we're growing them again this year. Broad Windsor is the variety, and I have to tell you the plants look really cool out in the garden because they have black and white flowers. I enjoy growing kale every year, mostly for use in salads, and Red Russian is a favorite variety of ours. I'm growing 2 different varieties of lettuce this year. One is Butter Crunch and the other is Bauer. Unfortunately, as you can see, there's no photo on the packet of the Bauer seeds, but it is a fantastic leaf lettuce and it will produce like you won't believe. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I am crazy about Tuscan Napoli melons. These cantaloupes are so sweet and succulent and delicious. They definitely deserve to be in your garden. Bill is the onion grower in our family, and last year he grew Ailsa Craig. The onions are massive. We're still enjoying them even though they supposedly just have a storage life of 1 month. And then he's trying a new variety of red onion called Barolo. Here's another seed packet without a photo on the front, but we're growing a type of pak choi called Bopak. And we discovered something interesting. Last year we grew a different variety that had quite curly leaves, whereas the Bopak is smoother. And the ones with the curlier leaves tend to attract more insects. So we thought, okay, we're going back to Bopak. I've been growing green arrow shelling peas for quite a few years, and a lot of you will remember that I use the gutter peas method for starting and transplanting them. I don't think I'm going to use that method this year, not for any bad reasons, but I just was thinking that I would switch back to the traditional method and see how it goes. But this is a great variety. Bill loves growing peppers every year, and boy does he excel at it. So for sweet peppers, he's growing Marconi Rosso. That is a tried and true favorite that he's grown for years, and it is fabulous. And then he's growing a new variety called Red Impact. That is a bell pepper that is enormous. It's an All-America Selections winner, and he had the opportunity to try to grow them in our garden last year. For hot peppers, he's growing Patapeño, which is a jalapeno pepper that I've enjoyed growing in our green stock vertical planters, and early jalapeno. He loves both of those varieties. In the pumpkin department, I'm growing New England pie pumpkins, which I've grown for years, very reliable, very tasty in pies. And then the Big Max pumpkin is a much larger pumpkin that I was going to grow last year for fun, and we ended up having some weird weather conditions that just weren't ideal for growing a large pumpkin. So I'm going to try again this year, just maybe 1 or 2 plants. It's always fun to grow a few radishes, and one of our favorites is purple plum. In addition to growing onions, Bill enjoys growing shallots. Zabroon is one that he's grown before and been very happy with, and then he's also trying a new variety this year called creme brulee. I mentioned spinach earlier as something that can bolt to seed when the temperatures get warm in the summer. However, on the other end of the spectrum, I've been watching for some type of a spinach that would be great to grow during the fall and winter months. And boy, have I found it. This is giant winter spinach. And when they say giant, boy, do they mean it, because the leaves are absolutely enormous, yet they still have that lovely spinach taste. So I'm definitely going to grow this again, probably as a fall crop. When it comes to summer squash, I love growing Cocoselle zucchini. It's beautiful, flavorful, and very productive. And I'm growing a new-to-me variety of yellow squash called Zephyr. It has a green zone at the tip of the squash and up near the stem. And it's supposed to have a nutty flavor, so I thought it'd be fun to try. What about winter squash? Each of these are varieties I've grown before, and they've been super reliable and very flavorful. So first of all, autumn frost winter squash. You've heard me mention that one before. I love it. And then I grow Burpee's butterbush butternut squash because they are a shorter season butternut squash. So it is definitely one to try, especially if you have a short growing season like we do. And then last but not least is Pote Marron, which is a wonderful winter squash as well. For paste tomatoes, which are ones that are great for making sauces and salsas, I'm growing Supremo. I think this will be my third year of growing it, and it is a fabulous determinate tomato. Then I'm growing an indeterminate called Blue Beach. I grew that for the first time last year on the recommendation of a friend who said that they are quite resistant to developing blossom end rot. And it seems like that was true. And then Saucy Lady is a free packet of seeds we got, and so we decided to give them a try this year. When it comes to growing slicing tomatoes, I think that the best one is Chef's Choice Orange. Now, I know there are a lot of slicing tomato varieties out there, but this is my favorite. I've been growing it for years, and I'm going to grow it again this year. Bill enjoys growing grape tomatoes, and his favorite variety is Pandarino. It's very reliable and very prolific. We really enjoy Japanese-style turnips, which are the ones that you can actually just eat fresh like an apple, and Silky Sweet is an excellent variety. Okay, let's talk about flowers. The other day I went into our local garden center and I saw these coreopsis flowers, and I thought, I have got to grow them. The variety is Incredible Swirl, and look at those beautiful flowers. I'm growing two varieties of Cosmos. I've grown this apricota before, and it's just beautiful. And then this Cosmos rubenza is a new variety for me, and it's got deep magenta blooms. Last year, a friend of mine gave me two seedlings of cup and saucer vine, and they were so cool, I decided to grow them again. The variety is Blue Cathedral Bells. Marigolds always make a great addition to the garden, whether you're growing it in your flower garden or your vegetable garden. So I've been growing Big Duck Yellow, which is a large flowered marigold, for years, and it is amazing. And then this is a new variety to me. This has got a smaller flower. It's called Mr. Majestic, and it's alternating red and yellow. So I thought that would be fun to grow. I've been growing Sahara Mix Rudbeckias, which are a type of Gloriosa daisy, for years now, and the colors of the flowers are just amazing. So that's definitely going in our garden this year. And then I saw a photo of Prairie Sun Rudbeckias, again a type of Gloriosa daisy. They have yellow and orange petals. They are just so cool, and then a green center. So that definitely will look great out in our landscape. Salpiglossis, or painted tongue, is another favorite flower of mine. Look at the colors of the flowers and the designs on the petals. They are absolutely works of art, and so every year I absolutely have to grow them. My goal for this year is to grow a lot more sunflowers, and here's the 3 varieties I'm focusing on. Look at Florenza on the left. Isn't that an amazing color combination? Of course, Paint Box Bouquet in the middle there is not bad either. Those are absolutely gorgeous. I grew them last year, and oh, they're just wonderful. And then for fun, I picked out a smaller type of a sunflower that you can grow in containers called Junior, and it's supposed to just grow about 2.5 feet tall. I also decided that I wanted to grow sweet peas again. I haven't grown them for a few years, and they're so amazing. But not just any type of sweet pea, mind you, those that are extra fragrant. So I chose High Scent and Beaujolais. And then the one on the right is a more miniature type of sweet pea called Little Sweetheart, and the vines only grow 8 to 14 inches long. So that would be great fun in a container. I also decided I should grow more Mexican sunflowers this year. So Tithonia is the species name. Last year I grew the yellow ones on the left, which are called Yellow Torch, and they were amazing. The plants were huge, they bloomed like crazy, and of course the pollinators loved them. So this year I'm growing Fiesta del Sol, which is a deep orange one, and I cannot wait to see the blooms. I think this will be my 3rd season of growing Verbena bonariensis Vanity. It's an All-America Selections winner. It's not as tall as the regular Verbena bonariensis. It looks fantastic in the garden, and because of the way it grows, it doesn't block your view of the other flowers. It just enhances them. And last but not least is zinnias. I always have to grow zinnias every year because they make great cut flowers. The pollinators love them. They're super easy to grow, and they bloom like crazy. So the 3 varieties I'm growing this year are Queenie Lime Orange, which I grew last year and it was gorgeous, Profusion Cherry Bicolor, and Aztec Sunset. I also grew Aztec Sunset last year, and they're just beautiful, warm colors. Well, that was a lot of seeds, wasn't it? But I am so excited about this year's garden season. Thanks so much for watching today, everybody. I'll see you next week. Happy gardening.